Hey, what's up? What's up? It's your girl Shasta over here on Shasta Speaks. Honey, getting ready to talk about none other than this last episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Oh, child, every time I watch an episode, I am reminded of why I feel like Melody is done with this show. Um, it's too much. It's too much. Um, and although this wasn't, I will say this was not a bad episode by far. It was actually to me one of the better episodes this season. But I'm still like these folks. I am really starting to believe that a lot of the cast from Love and Marriage Huntsville, for whatever reason, are just as delusional as Martell has been. I really think that a lot of them really thought that Martell and Melody were gonna get back together. I'm just really watching them and watching how some of these scenes play out. I'm like, these people really thought that this lady was gonna take this man back again. And I think that's why they have not been taking anything as it pertains to the Melanie and Martell of it all serious, because I think in their mind they really thought these two were gonna get back together. The delusion. Okay. Um it I'm telling you, it's at an all-time high. The delusions are at an all-time high on this show. So anyway, as always, all things discussed on this channel are alleged in my very own opinion, and it's always for entertainment purposes only. So we open up the episode with Chris lecturing Nell. Looks like they're sitting down to like lunch or something, and they're talking. And of course, where it left off last week, where they said that Chris was involved in the potential hookup of Martell and Trisha. And Miss Nell was pretty much like questioning him about it, asking him questions about it, asking him if he felt like he was wrong, this and that. And Chris is pretty much like, it's a lie. It's a lie. He didn't do it. Chris, Miss Nail. Number one, Chris lying. That's why you told him to look at you, because you trying to look in his eyes and see. But girl, you already know that man lying. Okay, because you know your husband. You ain't been married to him for 30 years for nothing. You know that man was lying. Number two, you know that this is something that is normal for them. You try to ask him if this is it's a normal occurrence for them. Because why else would Martell call, if the story remotely went the way he said? Why would Martell call him and say, hey, it's these girls over there? This is something that they do it's a normal occurrence for them. So we're not gonna act like we don't know that this is this is just what they do. And my third thing with you, Miss Nell, is how Trish, his cousin on his mama's side, and all this and that. You've been married to the man for 30 years and you don't know nothing about him. Like, huh? And I ain't saying nobody gotta know everybody in somebody's family, but a name or something gonna come up at some point in time. So the fact that you don't know anything about this woman is just like, okay, that's strange. So yeah, Chris, you hooked it up. You sitting that line. Ain't nobody took a last name and a damn description and went on Instagram and found nobody. Take that somewhere else, cause baby, we not buying what you selling with that one, Chris. Cut it out. Cut it out. You an old school player from the Himalayas, okay? You out here doing what you do, and y'all done got caught up a little bit. Not that it matters. Miss Nair ain't going nowhere, but just call a spade a spade. It is what it is. After that, we get I think after that is when we see Melody meet with Maurice. Child, Maurice trying to hit Melody with one of these Maurice Martin Luther King Scott speeches, trying to gaslight her into some stuff, talking about she seems unhappy, she seems that she's going through something. Did he do something to her to make her lash out at him and all this and that, like Mel on some type of get back shit? And at the end of the day, you know I don't think Melody was on no type of get back, but when it's your time, it's your time. And it was y'all's time. It was your time. You had something that happened, and instead of everybody, hiding behind the Mel and Martell storyline, it was time for you to be front and center, and you couldn't stand it. You didn't want to be front and center because y'all have gotten very comfortable with not talking about um things going on in your life. You want to be very selective about what y'all put on Front Street for yourselves, but y'all have been extremely happy with the fact that Melody and Martell have been stripped down bare bone to everybody for the world, pretty much. And so when it was your time to possibly be in that spotlight and strip bare bone, it was oh no, uh. And so trying to gaslight her, talking about she ain't happy, this and that. I'm so glad that Melody was like, sir, you don't know if I'm happy or not. You ain't been around me. You ain't, she said, we ain't had no conversation. You don't know what's going on in my life. And that's a very fair assessment. And he had to recognize that because it's like, how you gonna sit here and try to tell this woman how she's feeling, what she's going through, what state of mind she is in, and you ain't even been around her. You ain't been around her to know what she going through or how she feeling about anything. And like she told me, she's happy. She's living her life. And so I think he just needs to recognize that and go on. I felt like it couldn't have been said better when she explained to him, you knew me as Melody Holt. You don't know Melody Rogers at all. Period. Point blank. That's it. That's it. You haven't even taken the time, Maurice, to get to know who she is now. Who she was with Martell is not who she is now. And that's the problem with this cast. They are still attaching her and looking at her as Melody Holt. Baby, she is no longer Melody Holt. That's why she didn't want that name attached to her no more, and none of that. And she had that whole name change ceremony to weed herself and separate herself from that. She is done with that part of her life. Honey, that is no longer her address. She's moved on from that. And I think the cast needs to understand that and respect that and quit looking at her as though she is still Melody Holt and quit trying to speculate on what they don't know. So at the end, they both apologized to each other for, she let him know that there were some instances in the past where he was laughing about shit that wasn't funny. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta let somebody know. That key Ken you was doing wasn't nothing funny. Okay, wasn't nothing funny about that. Sometimes you gotta let somebody know. Sometimes you gotta let them know that, yeah. And so and she apologized to him if he felt like she was disparaging his name and this and that. But like she told him, you disparaged your own name by being charged with DUI, having the accident or whatever happened allegedly. You did that all by yourself. And when he brought up Martell's name, she let him know, that's also part of the issue. You've aligned yourself with him. And that's fine. But you can't be aligned with him and over here trying to align with me. Period. Period. If you running around with him and you kicking it with him, you won't be kicking it with me. And period. Boundaries. Boundaries. And that's another reason why I feel like she is done with this show. Because these people feel like they're going to be running in between her and Martell. And she just ain't here for it no more. She is not here for it anymore. She is done with that. And I don't blame her one bit. After that, we get Chris Fletcher Marceau, they meet Marquez somewhere, some little bar, some or another. Child, listen, all I got out of that conversation is that Marquez is delusional. Marquez really thought he was gonna go and sow his royal oath and do what he do and move around the country and live like, you know what I'm saying? He was free and single, and then when he got through doing whatever he was gonna do, he was gonna come on back home, and Trish and them kids was just gonna be waiting on him with open arms and say, "Come on back." And listen, maybe this was something he had done previously. Maybe, previously he had did whatever, and Tish, or not Tish, Trisha welcomed him back and it wasn't no issue and this and that. Maybe, those times when she was maybe talking to other guys or whatever, whatnot. He was always able to come on back to the house. And them guys, it was just little boy toys, allegedly, or whatever that Trish had, and so didn't nobody mean nothing. But that Ken came through there and said, "I ain't going nowhere." Ken said, "I don't care nothing about you still being married to that ninja. I don't care. I'm here. I ain't going nowhere." And that's what's got Marquez messed up. Marquez, you rolled them dice one too many times. You done crapped out. You done crapped out. Man, you got to take that L and go about your business. And, then to sit there, like I said in the other video about him trying to insinuate that he like Mel and, this and that. First of all, you childish. Let me tell y'all something. Marquez gives me little boy childish vibes. He's not grown up yet. He's definitely not grown up. His mind is not, to me, he's not at, he's not mature. He's still very childlike. And in my opinion, I don't care what nobody say. He is, to me, he is not. He don't move like a grown ass man. Even in how he was conversating about how he thought Mel was look good and this and that, and Chris was like, "Yeah, he tried to holler at me." You know what I'm saying? And he over there like, "Nah, I ain't tried. I did," and this and that, and he tries to give off, like Marcel said, you try to give off tough, but it is not giving off what you think is giving off. It's not. Marquez ain't no tough guy. He ain't even, like I said, he's not even a grown man. He's sitting there with Marceau and Chris Fletcher, and even though they're both older than him, you would have thought Marquez was still that 17-year-old little boy that Trish married or whatever. He's not on his grown man ish. He's just not. So, he's handsome. He's easy on the eyes, and that's about all he got going for him. And so the fact that he even thought that he could try to holler at Melody is just like, good and well. But we all know that was on some get back because he knew that Trish and Martell had something that transpired allegedly. And so, yeah, but again, childish. And Marceau hit him with the facts. He was like, "You mad because your little girl is sitting on another man's lap these days," which I thought that was a very morbid comment to me. I don't know why. Y'all have to let me know what y'all thought about that comment, but that comment was more. I'm like, dang, Marceau, like that's a sketchy comment. I know I'm not the only one that felt like, damn, did he have to say the little girl sitting on somebody else's lap? Like, that's morbid to me. But anyway, moving right along. So then after that, we get Melody's event, her Mimosas with Melody event. And as always, it was a beautiful event. The cast members, some of the cast members showed up, Maurice and Kimmy. Melody did say that, they were invited, that the cast members were invited. And she was like, "I think some of them are going to show up." And they did. Maurice and Kimmy showed up. Trisha and Ken showed up. Sonny was there. The Fletchers were there. Marquez showed up. And Marceau was there. Marceau Crazy Tail showed up, and basically he was by himself. Tish was not with him. He said that Tish was in Las Vegas in the City of Sin with the original center, which was In his words, Wanda. The shade of it all, honey. And he tried to, when they was sitting there, he was talking to Maurice, he tried to insinuate that Melodies with Mimosas was giving Black Business Expo, and um Maurice, that was just trying to throw a shade. Maurice was like, no, she expanded it to bit to this and that, and it's a co-ed event now instead of just being for women. Now it includes men too, and yada yada. But it was just a little shade of it all because Marcel, good and well, child. It never gave Black Business Expo. It never gave. Of all the things that it would give, it never gave Black Business Expo. Expo. Okay. It didn't give that. And so Trish made a during the event. Trish and Ken was sitting at the table with Maurice and Kimmy. Marquez showed up with some flowers. Trish was already kind of looking like the interaction between Ken and um Trish and Marquez was just very tension filled, child. Just a lot of tension. And they basically, when Marquez walked off and Kimmy and Maurice was like, he's even when he's trying to be cool, this and that, like pretty much saying what's the problem when he's trying to be cool. And they pretty much was like, no, he ain't trying to be cool. As soon as he leave here, whatever, he back on his bull crap. Kim was over there talking about they was trying to send some money. He was like, I'm over here trying to get money sent to his kids right now. Like, I'm gonna tell y'all my problem with Ken. Ken, quit talking about what you do for them kids. I'm tired of hearing it. It's like, if you're gonna be doing this stuff for the kids, quit doing stuff and then turn around and talking about it. It's like when somebody, ask somebody to borrow some money and you let them borrow the money, then every time you turn around, they bring it up. I look, you borrowed it, such and such. Like, don't do it if you're gonna be talking about it. Like, you feel obligated to do things for those children because you in there, what I'm saying, busting their mama back down every night or whatever you're doing. But shit, it is what it is. Don't that's part of course if you messing with a woman that's got children. And if you understand that, why would you keep bringing it up? Like, that's my number one thing with Ken. It's like he's doing this stuff for the children, and then every 5 minutes you won't talk about it. Sir, hush. Just hush. But Trish, she had made a comment about she didn't know if she wanted to come to the event based on the last interaction she had with Melody, but she came on to support. Girl, you came on because it was something I'm sure that the cast, even though Melody invited them, the cast also knew it was being filmed. Let's call a thing a thing. It was being filmed. You knew it was going to be filmed, so that's that. Marcel, when he did get in there, when he was first got in there and was walking around, he was in there hype putting about, look at what y'all came to see. Look at what y'all came to see. Talking to some of the Melometers and stuff. And that's what I had heard. Like, I had heard that it wasn't like no bad, like nobody saying nothing crazy or like no negative, nothing happened with the cast or the Melometers or anything like that. And so I thought that was cool because I know when they did the event in Huntsville, Stormy was there. Like, it was fine with no crazy in it. Like, that's why we understand why people tell me the Melometers is crazy. How, Sway? Sway? So, at the end, when Melody came off the stage, she was coming off the stage and it was sunny, and Marquez helped us step down off the stage. He had the flowers. I think he gave her mom a flower first and then, gave Melody flowers or whatever. And Melody was saying her feet was hurting. Marquez was just like, you want me to rub them for you? And Melody was looking at him like, what? Childish. Y'all childish. She was like, no. And then here come Marceau. I'm like, what? So from? Marcel came out of a wall, baby, or something. Because he must have been like, no. And I'll tell y'all, I'm one of the ones that was like, I don't, I have, I think, I can't even get it out. I think Marcel and Melody they always give us really good scenes on the show. But for whatever reason, in this scene, I can kind of see what everybody been talking about when they say that they think Marcel got a little crush on Melody. Cause yeah, I kind of peeped it. I was like, he like her. He like her. He like her for real, dog. Allegedly, in my opinion, man. Marcel like Melody, and that's why Tisha will never really mess with her. Cause she probably know it too. I don't, I don't know. You can tell. In that scene, I kind of peeped it. But Marceau brought up the whole what Marquez had said, and he was like, "No, you didn't you say Melody was you had Melody blushing and you was trying to talk to her and this and that, and Melody was like trying to talk to me. Wait, what?" And Marquez over there like, nah, I didn't say that. Marceau just trying to really front him out, put him out on Front Street because he over there insinuating certain stuff, and Melody pretty much like, little boy, you ain't got enough. She didn't say that, but y'all know what I mean. Like, she like, and ain't you married still? Like, what you doing? And he gonna try to switch it up to my no. I'm just trying to, see where I can help benefit you, something or another. She didn't hit him with the well, why don't you send me an email with a proposal, email to my team with your proposal, and we'll see from there. Yeah, friend zone his ass with the quickness, Melody, and parking right there. Okay. Cause I don't know what Marquez is on, but Marquez, you are out of your league. Cut it out. Cut it out. What she won't do is go from a Martell to the yo childish self. She just got rid of one little boy. Okay. She ain't trying to take on no more. No more. Okay. And then Marcel gonna holler out and talk about I don't know, Melody. It seems like it's some more soldiers in there with them Melometers, and she was looking at him like, don't even try. Don't even try, Marcel, because y'all said the Melometers was crazy and this and that, and the deplorables and no mind and this and that, and they couldn't think for themselves. Remember all that, Marcel? Now you trying to say you got some more soldiers in there mixed up with the deplorables? What you think? Shy. How quickly people forget, honey. How quickly the tides be turning, honey. Because he sure said the millimeters was deplorable. Sure said in that time I used to Mars soldiers in there. Well, which ones was the Mars soldiers, Marcel? Let let us know. Where was they at? Where was they at? Point them out so we can see. Point them out so we can see. Then Miss Nail and Chris, they, get everybody in the cast together at the event, and they pretty much announce their renewal of their vows for the 30th wedding anniversary. And Miss Nail says she's gonna have a bachelorette party. Chris says he's gonna have, him a little get together. Ain't no telling what they gonna be doing. It can't be no worse than what they already doing. Okay, what they already doing. And Melody asked Sonny where Moses was. Child, Sonny don't told him Moses is clank. Yeah, we knew it was. Now I'm really confused because I'm like, dang, what? So we ain't gonna see the rest. So what is that title called? Arrest and relax? Because who getting the rest? What arrest? What AR rest? What is that? What is that? I'm tired, y'all. I love Max Spill. So they was all pretty much, shocked at the fact that Moses was incarcerated and, you know, um told Sonny, that she was in their thoughts and prayers and everything. And yeah, I really hate that. I really hate that Moses got incarcerated, newly married, and everything. In the first year of your marriage, you had to sit your butt in jail. Moses, Moses, Moses. Whew. Um, the last thing we got was Miss Nell at the bridal shop trying on, picking out her wedding gown. And Melody ends up coming, and I feel it was a beautiful moment between these two. Miss Nell looked really pretty. She was crying and this and that. And she sat down and have a conversation with Melody, pretty much to let her know that, in so many words, her feelings was hurt by the fact that Melody was kind of laughing when she said she was her mentor, and that whole scene in the kitchen where she downplayed it. And I honestly feel like all this is just a um um semantics. I feel like it's just the semantics and what is being called. Miss Nell was a friend, a real friend, I think, to Melody during the time when all this cheating hit the fan. And she was there as a shoulder for Melody to lean on, as that person, that safe space that Melody could vent to and share her feelings with, and no more, no less. And I don't look at that as mentoring. The only way I would look at that as it really being something about mentoring is if Miss Nell was sitting there going, it's okay that he cheated. This is how you can get over it. This is how I got over it with Chris. Now, Miss Nell, if you was sitting there doing that, okay, you were sitting there trying to explain to her, this is how these are the steps I took to get over the fact that he cheated, so I could continue to stay with my husband, and I took him back, and this is what I did to move forward. Now, if you was trying to do that to her, then you may have been trying to mentor her, but you were trying to mentor her to stay in that marriage. Um, but if you were just there as that person that she had to lean on during that time, because listen, if you ever been cheated on, because I know I have. Okay, I've been on both sides. I have been cheated on. I have been a cheater. Okay. Um, I became a cheater because I had been cheated on. To be clear, okay. Um, you got to have a safe space. You got to have a safe space, or it could drive you crazy. And so I really feel like that's what Nell was to Melody, and there's nothing wrong with that. But so I just really feel like I'm glad they had the conversation. Melody did end up apologizing to Miss Nell, letting her know that she was sorry if she hurt her feelings in any kind of way. And so I hope that that's the last time that we have to hear about the mentor or whatever debate as it pertains to Miss Nell and Melody, because child, that it's given, we should be through with that. Um, that's everything that was on the show. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know, if you thinking like I'm thinking, and that Melody on her way out the door. I really feel like Melody is done with this show. I feel like she wrapping up her loose ends, and I feel like she done. Her posts are she's still posting about being free and this and that. And listen, to me, it's a clear message, and I just feel like she's done. That's just really, really how I feel. Please like the video if you haven't already. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I have more content coming, and I definitely want to get my subscribers up, honey. So if you enjoy the content, please, please, please definitely subscribe to the channel. Drop down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. And I will holler at y'all later.